Vanakkam, Namaste, and blessings to everyone. This is the Sky Priestess. Today's video is a reflection on the dynamics that I've been encountering in my own path, and equally the dynamics that I've been encountering in the sessions that I've been doing as of late. All of this also ties up with the impending conjunction of Saturn upon the galactic center in November and December of this year. And what we'll also see is that we're seeing the foreshadowing of this with Black Moon Lilith approaching the galactic center right now. So this morning I had the privilege of being interviewed by a fairly famous astrologeress, and I will be posting the link on my timeline, and in it I was talking about exactly this: what the galactic center teaches us, what Saturn's energy there is going to show us for the next 30 years, and what we can practically do about it. So stay tuned for that. But what I noticed, not only in myself, in the sessions that I've been doing and in the work that I have been understanding, is that very often those of us who enter this craft, whether it is because we like the knowledge or whether it is a means to actually escape the traumas of childhood or young adulthood that we just couldn't find any other ways to get away from, or whether it is basically just going on a past life ego trip, whatever the reason is, and there will be other reasons, of course. Those of us who go into the public eye and spread any type of knowledge or information often come up with the same issue, and that is the intellectual ego. And we associate this with Sagittarius very, very strongly, because Sagittarius is all about the I know, I know. And that's very common to see with teachers, and it's not wrong for teachers to have that interpretation about what information they're getting from the universe. But as with everything, the knowledge that we get here is applicable to this realm and is applicable for a certain period of time. The energy that we use to work with spirit changes over time, and sometimes holding on to that vibration well past its due date, so to speak, is actually an invitation to stagnation. So what I've been seeing with teachers is, especially those, and I am privileged in the sense that the people I attract to me as clients are incredible people. It's a great honor to facilitate them. And I see individuals who have walked for years and found themselves in remarkable states of awareness and knowing. And they come to me because there is a block. And no matter what they do, there's something about that path or about the tradition or about that journey or whatever it is that they're doing. There's just something about their energy that just makes them feel stagnant or at a stalemate or at a blind spot. These words have been coming up quite a lot today. And very often when I'm looking at the person at the level of the energy body, the answer is very clear to me. It's like when you look at someone at the level of energy, and your soul is witnessing their soul, and there's no filter of the mind or your perception between it, the answer is pretty instant. But taking that person through the conscious experience of understanding just what it is that is the issue, what it is that is the problem, is art and skill in and of itself. And that is, again, it's a powerful area of growth that I am doing my best to step into. So what almost always tends to be the case, especially with sincere teachers who just hit this stumbling block and don't know where to go next, what tends to happen is that in their journey, in the sincere, earnest desire to move past a certain set of circumstances which may have set them on the course of their journey, that their mind skips a couple of steps. So instead of actually feeling into their bodies and feeling into their emotions, the mental center is able to project a sense of well-being and emotions onto their perception of reality and themselves. So much so that what they're feeling about themselves tends to be exactly what they think. And we are taught that this is a good idea. I guess it works up to a point, and it certainly works with facilitators because they can show others how to do the same for themselves. But up to a point, when we deal with our own projections, which is not using projection in the psychological sense of trying to project something on another person, but when we project our own ideas, or when we project our own thought forms, or we project our own intentions onto our spiritual work in progress, we see the energy that we've put in that we want to manifest, and that's not wrong. But when it comes to the development of the soul, the mind games stop. And the soul just kind of waits there and goes, okay, buddy, okay, time for you to open your eyes. Here's where it is. I'm right here. I need you to see me. I'm right here. And more often than not, especially with people with strong placements with the galactic center, which has been the theme of the day, coming to this place of blind spot, coming to this place of being willing to see what it is that is blocking oneself, is not so much a mental exercise. It's not an exercise for the mind. It's not an exercise that tests your knowledge and competence. More often than not, the people who come to me are very qualified. But it actually comes from that different channel of knowing, which we associate more so with the intuitive body, with the emotional body, and its connection with our cellular consciousness. And this is what the feminine traditions emphasize. But they too only go up to a point without more, how do I put it, mind-based approaches to energy and more awareness of cosmic, etheric, and astral forces. That tradition too needs to see the upper chakras, for lack of a better term, as its complement. So, in other words, it's basically the same message that I always say. It's just come to me now with a heightened focus. For those of us who have been sincerely seeking to know, to find a pathway forward, if we are blocked, look at your emotions. Look not at what you think your emotions are, not at what you have been taught to see yourself as, but your actual, real, energetic and emotional state. And that is why going to an external facilitator can help, because that person is not bound by your blind spots, nor are you bound by theirs. That's why every facilitator needs a facilitator. Someone who can see a wider sphere of awareness around them. So at the everyday, I guess this is a message more so for those who teach, because overcoming these obstacles is very much a key challenge that all of us are going to be seeing and feeling right now. We have been taught that somehow reaching up out there beyond the mind and into space and into the astral or whatever realms up there is somehow great. Well, it's part and parcel of the universe. Whether or not it's the best direction for you to travel into and to evolve into is a different question. You can't tell me that your feet are less important than your head, or that your head is more important than your feet, if you're looking at yourself as a whole body system. Every part of your body has equal weight, worth, and value. And inhabiting and learning how to work with each part of your body system is an extremely important thing to do. Otherwise, you don't get the full experience of what it is to be human and what it is to actually be here. Now, I'm still translating these insights from a different place. So, it's not like my usual, this is what to do, but that's kind of good. Because with this intense desire to know and to be authoritative in what we know, with Saturn and Sagittarius comes, as one of my teachers was telling me, this absolute intensity to solve everything and fix everything now and have the most direct route to it, and that's not needed. Taking the long route around the mountain, enjoying the view, may actually be preferable to going straight up and losing a limb in the process, or injuring yourself severely. That's the kind of message that I'm trying to give. But like yesterday's video, I would rather just say this without words. So this has been the reflection that's been coming at me, and oh, believe me, when I see a theme with my clients, the first place I'm going to look is here, going, okay, what did I do and what am I not taking into account? But what I also see is that this is also a message that has absolute relevance for the collective. To some extent, we all teach everybody by simple virtue of being. The galactic center is in everybody's chart. But those who do this in a much more public way, sitting in that more formal structural role of a teacher or one who holds a space for another person, would probably want to remember this message. Sometimes the greatest knowledge is knowing when to stop looking, when to realize that going out there may not be as important as coming inside, coming back inside. And that is something that spirituality has told us for ages. We've just a lot of us have lost sight of that with Saturn in Sagittarius. There is this race to the mountaintop, but maybe the top isn't necessarily where you need to be. So, yeah, this is something to just bear in mind as Saturn in Sagittarius continues to move towards the galactic center, as Black Moon Lilith is already pretty much there right now, and as we all chart a prosperous, balanced, knowledgeable, charitable, beautiful path for ourselves and for the collective. These are just some of the lessons that I have been feeling into, that I have been intuiting, that I felt worth sharing. So, take care and God bless. Ciao, ciao for now. Bye.